Today is February 1st, and that means it's the return of the Tenrai event in Halo Infinite. Alongside that, it's also the beginning of a new shop rotation. And as usual, I'll take a look at the new items and determining whether or not they're worth your money. So how's it going, Magpies? I'm Magpie Leon, and let's jump straight in. Now, straight away, I think I can positively say that this might be the best shop we've had during the Samurai event. Over the, two other times it's been on beforehand, I think this is probably the best the shop has been. However, it is far from perfect. It's probably about a 50-50 split of two things that I think are really good here, and two that I've got mixed opinions on. But we're going to start with the Ancient Flare armor coating. Now, this has been seen before. It's the bundle that gives you this coating and the white visor. However, the coating has been brought back on its own. Now, the positives here is it means we are going to see individual items from bundles brought to the shop individually. I like this. I like that they brought this coating back, but on its own. It costs 400 credits, which I don't think is a terrible amount considering the bundle costs 700. I would have preferred it if it was, round about 300 for an armor coating, but I don't think 400 is a terrible price. I can understand why people would buy this coating. It's one of the better samurai ones. And it does stand out a bit by having the different undersuit texture and all that sort of stuff. So as far as this one goes, I think this deserves the epic rarity if the rarities don't really mean anything, but I think this is a better example of an epic item. And 400 credits, although I think it could be a bit better, since you are only getting it for one core, I think considering we see bundles that cost 400 credits, like the Cosmic Goblin one, I don't think 400 credits is the most ideal price, but it's decent enough, I guess. I could understand why someone would buy this. But the main positive here is it means we'll see more individual items from bundles get brought back, and I'm glad to know that that's the case. Next up, we've got the Heart Piercer bundle. This gives you 3 items. You get the legendary chest piece, which is the little throwing things. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry, I don't know what they're called. You also get the Wisteria visor, which is this nice purple samurai visor, as well as the clean cut stance. This stance is awesome. It's the first stance we got in game with the energy sword, and it looks great. This bundle costs 800 credits, and that's not a bad price. I think the items here are pretty deserving of that, and overall, it's not a bad bundle. I like all the items here. The chest piece is cool, the visor is cool, and the stance is amazing. However, for just 200 credits more, you can get the Silent Sentry set, which is probably the best bundle on the shop today, and is one of the best we've seen, full stop. You get the Wet Crow armor coating, but the best thing is you get this for all 3 armor cores. It's this nice grey and gold, or it's a bit of a bluish grey. It's like a grey and gold coating. It looks really cool. Alongside this, you get the Shadow Crow shoulder pieces for the Samurai core, as well as the Sparrow Temple chest piece, the Shadow Raven knee pads, and the House of Warriors emblem. All of these items are pretty solid. I like the chest piece. The chest piece is probably my favourite samurai one. Not a huge fan of the shoulder pads. They don't really, they don't look that great in my opinion. However, most people probably disagree, but I think overall, the knee pads are also pretty cool. But I think this is a really solid bundle, and for 1,000 credits, can't go wrong here. You get a nice coating for all 3 cores, a decent enough emblem, which can be used on, all your stuff, as well as some cool knee pads, a chest piece, and some shoulder pads. I think this is a good bundle. For 1,000 credits, I 100% think this is worth it. It also, in comparison, does make Heart Piercer look a little bit underwhelming, considering it only costs 200 credits more, and has more than triple the amount of items. Really, I think it would have been cool if Heart Piercer maybe included an armor coating. It didn't have to be anything amazing, but it would have been nice to see an armor coating in that bundle to sort of just bump up the value a little bit more. Obviously, not the price, 800 credits, and then if there was a coating included, I think that would have been great. But I don't think 800 credits is a bad price for that bundle. Last, we have the Conmage armor set, which has returned. Now, I brought this when it first came out on the Samurai event because there wasn't really much in terms of unlockables on the event, and I wanted my Samurai spawn to stand out. But I kind of wish I hadn't. This bundle costs 2,000 credits. You get the Thorn Diver legendary stance, the Sundown Smile armor coating, the Conmage helmet, the Windblown mask attachment, the NG Iroh visor, Bear Temple chest piece, the Crescent Moon shoulder pads, and the Crescent Moon knee pads. Now, first thing of note here is this bundle still costs 2,000 credits, which means my theory about old bundles getting reduced was correct. They're not going to reduce the prices because that would mean they'd probably have to refund people, which they don't want to do. But it also means I was correct about individual items getting brought back. So I would have preferred if they just brought the helmet back or something like that rather than bringing the whole bundle back. I just think for 2,000 credits you don't get enough here. You get less than this. You get less in this bundle than you do in the Silent Sentry set, which costs half the price. Now, that's not to say the items here are bad. Thorn Diver is a cool stance, and I wish that spear was a weapon. The Sundown Smile coating is one of my favourite samurai coatings. Not a huge fan of the Conmage helmet, and I don't care about its attachment because I don't care about the helmet. The red visor is also really cool, the chest piece is fine, and the shoulder pads and knee pads are also decent. The issue here is I just think for 2,000 credits, you don't get enough. You're basically paying for half an armor set. Now if there was a few more things included, a utility piece, a wrist attachment, and some other things here and there, or like the armor coating being included for both the other cores, 2,000 credits would be fine. I don't think this bundle should be reduced, but I do think more should be added to it. Although, again, the items here overall I think are completely fine. I don't think there's necessarily a bad item. There's some that I don't like, but I don't think there's a bad item here. I just don't think it's worth 2,000. There simply isn't enough, and some of these newer bundles show that off perfectly. Silent Sentry is a solid bundle. For 1,000 credits, you get 11 items. I mean, obviously, of course, technically, with one of those being an emblem, you can obviously technically subtract 3 items from that bundle since it counts each emblem as like one item. But the point is, that one definitely feels worth that price point. You get a lot of really good items there. And Con Mage, yes, you get some good items too, just not enough. 2,000 credits is a lot of money, and I think you simply aren't getting enough there. You are essentially paying for half an armor set, and I think that applies to all of the 2,000 credit bundles, as it feels more like half an armor set than it does a full armor set. But overall, this seems like a much stronger start to the week than last week's was. I think overall the items here are pretty solid. It's still annoying that we're only getting one daily item, but it's cool to see that they're bringing some individual samurai items back. Like taking them out of the bundle and bringing them back as individual items. I think that's cool. I'd like to see the sword utility piece get brought back like that, rather than being part of its bundle, and hopefully that means it's not going to cost an absurd amount for essentially just the utility piece. It'd also be cool to see some of the shoulder pieces, visors and all that sort of stuff get brought back individually too. So I'm hoping that's what we see, but the fact that there is only one individual item means we might be seeing even less because they're going to be brought back as individual items rather than bundles. But again, this definitely feels like a step in the right direction in terms of prices. I think some of the stuff here is great. It's just unfortunate that I was correct about reductions with bundles, is that old bundles really aren't going to get reduced. They're probably just going to get picked apart and sold individually for cheaper prices, but the bundle itself won't get reduced. Maybe that'll change in future, but I doubt it. I do hope that maybe some of these older bundles get new items thrown in to make them feel worth that much money, though. Anyway, that sums up everything I've got to say about the shop today. Like I say, it's a much stronger start, and at least all my thoughts about it aren't negative. There's definitely some issues here and there, but this definitely feels a lot better. Still got a long way to go yet, the shop has. But at least things are slightly improving now and again. I hope it just isn't chucked out the window next week. I'm hoping next week doesn't suck, and I'm hoping in terms of daily items they're not really underwhelming. Or daily bundles. I don't know what we're going to get. I just hope that everything's okay with the shop this week. But yeah, that's all from me, folks. If you have enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here. I'm aiming for 1,000 by the end of the year, and I'm hoping we can hit 700 by the end of February. I know that's a bit of a big ask. We've still got like a good 70-something, maybe 80-something subs to go, but I really hope that's an achievable goal. Anyway, folks, that's all from me, and I'll catch you in the next one.